This episode is brought to you by freedadcourse.com. You are always one conversation away from changing your life, and the power of hello is something that I subscribe to every single day, and I'm always saying hello to new people everywhere I go. Increasing your opportunity, increasing your connection, and getting access to the solutions to the problems that you are facing, whether you're on active duty or just beginning your veteran transition, or you've been transitioning out for 20 years. On the other side of hello are the solutions that you're looking for. Again, head on over to freedadcourse.com. Get your 5-episode audio course to create more connection, create more friendships, and get back to living the life that you're trying to design.
This is Fire Team Delta. Dad's coming home.
Welcome to the Military Veteran Dad Podcast, where it is our mission to bring every dad home. I am your host, Ben Cloy. I'm a United States Marine veteran, husband, and a father. We will bring authentic conversations to inspire action in your life so we can close the gap between the dad you are today and the dad you want to be tomorrow. This is the Military Veteran Dad Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fatherhood Friday. I am your host, Ben Cloy, and as promised on Monday, today is the day I'm walking on stage to give the opening keynote at Stay at Home Dad Con, a moment that's been building for, I feel like, 7 years. And as I was telling my daughter last night about it, it was really kind of wrapping up all the different things that she's tolerated, all the things that she didn't understand, but all the things that I've had to do to make this moment happen. And today I want to unravel some of those things and tell you how this moment happened, because it was not just one conversation. It was a string of conversations over a long period of time, and I want to go back to where it all began. But before we can do that, we need to get into the Military Veteran Dad time machine and head back to February of 2020. All right, we made it back to February of 2020. In February of 2020, the world hadn't changed, Corona hadn't hit, but one thing that did change was I had just recently lost my job. Valentine's Day of February of 2020 was the last day in the corporate world for me. That day marked a journey where I said, you know what, this is my opportunity to be an entrepreneur, to be a professional speaker, and to be something that I've been talking about for a long, long time. What I didn't know was Corona was just around the corner. But before that, we need to go to Washington, D.C., which was about February 28th of that year. That year, I attended Dad 2.0, which is essentially a conference for dadfluencers just like me. Now, going to this conference, I didn't know anybody. So going into this conference, going to the city, going to the hotel, it was all kind of frontline networking where you're going to experiences where you're really going to have to build new connections. Well, the very first day, I got to the lobby. A bunch of other dads were in the lobby. Everybody kind of knew each other because the conference has been going on for 15 years. And what I didn't know at the time was that moment was going to change everything. Because I had the courage to say hello to a group of dads in the lobby. I also went around DC with another group of dads and walked around all the different monuments. One of those dads was Brock. Brock was one of those dads. He was a Navy veteran that you could just really connect with, and we both just really had a great story. And we just started a really great friendship. That friendship continued over the next year and a half to the point where he called me up in March of 2021 to invite me to give the opening keynote at Stay at Home Dad Con. I am on the stage today because of that conversation in that hotel lobby. That hotel lobby opened up doors that allowed me to step into the future that I've been trying to create. And what I want you to know out of this story is tying everything that we've ever learned, the power of hello, the power of friendships, the power of understanding that it's not who you see you are in the mirror, it's who they see that really matters. And Brock saw someone that really needed a friend. He saw someone that really also, he could be this person that opened up a door. And so when he called me to be that person on the opening stage, it was a moment that I almost didn't believe it because of how surreal and how much life had to happen in a certain way for that moment to happen. But I want to tell you and give you hope and faith that you too, if you apply the things that we talk about in this podcast, if you work on saying hello, if you can go into new conversations, even if they feel extremely scary, work on creating powerful friendships, those powerful friendships will open doors. I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. If you want more opportunity in your life, you need to have more new conversations. And the amount of conversations you have is directly proportional to the amount of opportunity you feel you have in your life. It's one of the reasons why I invest in conferences so much, because we all have similar likes and differences. And when you do that, we're all there, we've all invested, you all generally care. The magic and the ability for something great to happen is almost on a higher scale than you can ever imagine at any other networking event that you could do locally. But I share all of this to remind you to have faith, to have hope, and to believe something is bigger on the other side. I joined Toastmasters in September of 2018 with the simple idea that, yes, I wanted this, but I didn't really know what it was going to happen. 3 years later, almost to the week, I'm walking on stage to reach my full potential. This is just the beginning. This isn't the ending. And I have no idea what's going to happen after this, but I know that all the events leading up to this had to happen in a certain way. If you're listening to this episode and struggling, how can I move past this barrier in my mind? Make sure you've checked out freedadcourse.com, because over at freedadcourse.com, there is a 5 audio lesson program on how to have more friends in your life. There is a reason why I created this course, because that course is where my journey started. 7 years ago, I started talking to dads at the park, which now 7 years later has led to me where I am today, talking to you about all these different topics. It all began with a simple hello to a park and asking the question, how old are your kids? Repeating that process, understanding what they were reflecting back about who they saw in me, and going towards it on a much deeper level. So guys, with that said, have an amazing weekend. I know today is a day that I'll probably remember forever, but make sure that you have something in your weekend that you remember forever, because we only get this weekend. Nothing is guaranteed. We only have today. Make sure that it counts, and I'll back again with you on Monday.